I mean, you never know. Jason Witten retired for 1 year, and he came back.
Well, it's because he sucked at broadcasting. That's why.
He always did the knife hands. You ever see that? He'd be like, bro, said fucking play action to the right side. He bootlegged around the corner, and he threw it over the top. Touchdown.
BRB Blazer.
Okay.
Oh. All right, listen up, idiots. This is the Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast. And if you don't subscribe to us on YouTube right now, I'm going to suck you off. I mean, I'm going to fucking piss. I'm going to do something so mean and so bad to you. You're going to be like, oh, I wish you didn't do that mean, bad thing to me. But this is the Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast. And we're here. We're not queer. And we're going to steer you into a championship. Listen up, because we got shit to say.
I'm not mad. I'm impressed right now.
That was good?
That was good. I think I'm going to have to give
it
you the full intro every time now.
All right. I'll come up with a new one every time. How about that?
I don't know. Do I think you're a one-hit wonder?
A one-hit wonder. All right. Episode 9. If you didn't hear it here, you didn't hear it clear. What are we doing today? We're talking about news?
Talking about news. But before you do that, subscribe. YouTube channel.
Suspect to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, subscribe YouTube channel. You know, if you can, do us a favor, write us a review, Apple iTunes, and all that good stuff. Follow us on G if you already don't. Help us out.
Yeah,
We're helping you out. Just help us out in return.
Yeah, put us the clicks. And if we happen to help you with your fantasy team, give us a shout out.
Yeah, just help. Dude, you know what? If you're blowing my phone up every round to ask me who you pick, just give us a shout out. That's all I ask for.
It's not a lot.
Cody! Sorry.
Dude, you've been sick lately, and I'm worried about you.
Dude. Yeah,
it's crazy,
dude. Yeah.
But even though you've been feeling sick, you've still been helping so many people with their fantasy, which is so crazy.
I really have. You know, I'm trying. You know, I just want to help people, dog. People helping people.
Yeah, we are people pleasers.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, what do we got first thing in the news today? Well, I feel like the most recent fantasy news has been kind of it's like the reoccurring news, but
yeah,
we did have some pretty crazy stuff happen over the weekend.
Yeah. Fucking Andrew Luck just retired.
Andrew Luck retired.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, I remember I was at work with a couple of the guys, and all of a sudden my phone just went off like the sleeper. But, you know,
I read it and I reread it.
I was like, what the, wait, this.
I thought it didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
It still is kind of like doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, a lot of stuff, a lot of people, a lot of players dropped that were on the Colts. Did you see he got booed? Like all the Colts fans, he was walking across the field when they found out. A bunch of people found out, and they were booing him.
They were booing him. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, it sucks because he's your franchise quarterback, and you know you're thinking like, oh, maybe they have a chance to go to the Super Bowl this year.
A lot of people they've been kind of like underdog. Everybody's been thinking.
Yeah, but I mean, from his standpoint, it's like, bro, he's got to start thinking about his health. I mean, like he was saying, like he's like, I've been hurt every year for the last 4 years, and he's like, it's like get hurt, rehab, play, get hurt, rehab, play. He's like, I'm just sick of it. I mean, you can't be mad at the guy for just realizing, like, hey, man, I got to take care of my body and think for the future of my life.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, people like to think about, oh, dude, you're like they calling him a pussy and stuff on Twitter, and there's a lot of people that are getting a lot of flack for giving him flack, for retiring. But like imagine like you're a player and you're always hurt. You can't even like play with your kids because you got this multi-million-dollar body. You got to watch and make sure that it's good. And I don't know. I could totally understand why he did. T.Y. Hilton said that he's like crying on Twitter. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, I saw him. He's like, it's like his best friend or whatever.
Yeah. So that, but fantasy wise, it's pretty crazy. I was kind of hyped. I was actually like thinking T.Y. Hilton was like a solid pick. I was making arguments. I was arguing with Anthony. I think I actually did a beer bet about T.Y. Hilton, which I think I might be fucked now. Now that Andrew Luck is out. But yeah, I can't remember what I was just saying. I lost total concentration.
Just saying how his ADP dropped because T.Y. Hilton was going in like half point and full point PPR. So he was going in like the 3rd round, and like now I was just looking at it. He's fallen all the way to like the 5th round,
which is crazy.
And it's like I didn't love him in the 3rd round, because I didn't know how many games Andrew Luck was going to miss. And, Jacoby Brissett. Obviously, Jacoby Brissett's a pretty good backup. He's definitely one of the top backups in the league. But I didn't know how I felt about it. Just there's a lot of mouths to feed there. They got a ton of weapons across the board. Receivers, tight ends, running backs, all that stuff. But, I mean, when you get into the 5th round, like some of the players he's around, now I'm not too mad at it, because it's like here's a guy who could, potentially you draft him as your 3rd receiver. And, T.Y. Hilton is my 3rd. I feel way more comfortable than T.Y. as my 2nd receiver. I mean, he's going around guys like Calvin Ridley, Tyler Boyd, Kenny Galladay, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Lockett. Like those guys
I would take him over Allen Robinson. I'll probably take him over Calvin Ridley. I would take him over Tyler Boyd.
Yeah. I mean, I'm taking him over like Landry, DJ Moore, some of those guys you just said right there too. So I think it's kind of weird because I feel like his for where I would have felt comfortable drafting him, prior to the whole Luck retiring thing, I think he kind of fell into that range of where it's like, okay, like now I wouldn't be mad at taking a shot on him.
Okay, here's the real question. Would you take T.Y. Hilton or Mike Williams?
Oh, I'm still going Mike Williams.
Dude, Mike Williams is ranked lower.
Oh, man, I was watching Mike Williams Clemson highlights from his college days last night. I was just watching a bunch of like highlights on players last night. Dude, this guy's just a fucking dude. He's just a savage, dude. And like, he's not I don't know. He's gonna be a name where like people are like start talking about him, like like he's just gonna blow up. I feel like.
I think he's gonna be kind of the same. I think he's gonna be similar to Mike Evans in that he always goes pretty high, like high rounds.
Yeah.
I think after this year, I think you're right. I think he's gonna be like, I think he'll be top 10. I think he could be.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely got the body for like the red zone. I mean Keenan Allen's more the PPR guy for sure, but Keenan Allen's never really been like a touchdown guy.
Right.
If one of those two is going to get double-digit touchdowns, it's going to be Mike Williams.
For sure. I like that. I like it.
Yeah, no, so yeah, I'm taking Mike Williams over him. But I mean, like you said, there's a lot of guys there who you're not sure. I mean, like Cooper Kupp, Kenny Galladay, Tyler Lockett, Boyd, like we just said, Ridley, some guys like that, where I'm going to take T.Y. Hilton because he's still pretty much the number one there. And he does have that home run ability to, take a 60-yard, 70-yard touchdown. And maybe that could be the difference in your week. He's
Definitely.
like a boom-bust guy, but I'm feeling more comfortable in the 5th round taking a boom-bust guy than in the 2nd or 3rd round,
right,
where he was going before.
So with this Luck retiring, do you feel, okay, because obviously we have Marlon Mack, which we'll get into, but I'm just curious, like, what you think. Do you think because, we tend to see, like, rookie quarterbacks, they always hit their tight end. Do you think Eric Ebron, it's going to have a better season now with, what's it called, Jacoby?
I mean, well, Brissett's is like 3rd year.
Well, yeah, but being a backup is what I mean. Is like, what do you think he's going to, because he's a backup, I know he's not a rookie quarterback, but I'm just saying is that because he's a backup, he might rely on that tight end and just like dunk it over?
No, not necessarily, because I think Luck hasn't practiced at all the whole preseason and training camp. So Jacoby Brissett's been out there with the ones every single week. So he's not like, okay, like I'm more familiar with this player compared to not. He's been out there with, T.Y. Hilton, Funches. You got Ebron, you got Jack Doyle, and then you still got Paris Campbell, the rookie. Even Deion Kane's a name, that they keep, talking about in camp. Another big body receiver. His 2nd year. Last year, there was a lot of good things about him, but then he tore his ACL. So I think Jacoby Brissett's actually a pretty good quarterback to where he'll spread the ball around evenly. So that for Ebron wise, I mean, he's got the touchdown upside because of the red zone threat, but then, I mean, Funches is also a big guy too. And I think he could be a guy who takes away some of those touchdowns. And then you got Jack Doyle there as well too. I think Ebron's going to have a massive regression.
You think so?
In my opinion. Yeah. I think some games he'll be like boom or bust. Some games he'll have like a crazy good game. And then some games he might only get you like 2 for 23 or something.
Just curious. Yeah. I was just thinking about it right now. So just curious what you thought.
No, yeah. I mean, obviously, the whole Luck retiring is going to have a massive impact on the positional players across the board, tight ends, receivers, running backs. Like you said, I think the only one that might stay the same pretty much is Marlon Mack, just because it's still good offensive line. It's good offense.
I like Marlon Mack's value. He's there, but the thing is for me is he's around a lot of other running backs that I'm kind of like it's hard to who I want in that area. Who else is around him right there?
I mean, he's going around like this has got him. The fantasy football calculator has got him going like in the back of the 4th round.
See, because you got like Mark Ingram, you got Chris Carson's a little bit around there, Duke Johnson, James White.
You got like Sony Michel, Philip Lindsay,
and then even David Montgomery's around that area. So it's like I like Marlon Mack for his value, but there's just like I would take David Montgomery over him. I think I would take Chris Carson over.
Yeah.
What do you think about guys who already drafted and grabbed Andrew Luck? And now what do you do?
Oh man, I mean you got to drop him, I guess. He's not coming back.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, do you pick up Jacoby Brissett or you just look for another?
I just scramble into the waiver wire and seeing who's there.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe someone didn't draft Dak. I mean, Jameis Winston, Kirk Cousins is still a good name. Maybe you grab I don't know if anyone drafted Lamar Jackson. Maybe there's a lot of good later round quarterbacks. In my opinion, I think.
Right.
That you could probably go grab. I mean, you never know. Jimmy Garoppolo could come around out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just depending on your league say. But yeah, for sure, if you got him, you should go scramble to the waiver wire and go grab someone right automatically.
Right. What's it called? So it's pretty interesting stuff. Anything else you want to touch on that Luck?
No, I just remember, just kind of side note, but I remember I was talking to someone about how he just kind of signed a contract extension, and he was due he was nearly $25 million this year.
They just gave it to him,
and they gave it to him.
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy. That's like, hey man, we appreciate you. Just keep it.
Just keep it. You know what?
Just keep that $25 million. It's okay,
dude.
Bro, that's a good chunk of change.
He's a genuine guy, bro. Well, he's the guy that we all make fun of and laugh at is when he gets hit and he's like, "Good hit, good hit." He just gets laid out and he's congratulating the fucking defensive end or whoever hits him. Yeah. So I mean, it doesn't surprise me that they paid it forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I mean, he's literally putting his body on the line.
Actually, it surprised me. I don't know what I'm saying. It does. That's.
I mean, it does. But like you said, he's literally putting his body on the line for the franchise. For the last 7 years or whatever it was, 6-7 years.
Right.
So and like I said, I don't blame him. I mean, you got to think about football got him to a certain point in his life, but there's always life after football, and and you got to think about that. Financially, mentally, physically, all that stuff. And
what if 5 years from now he's like, dude, I want to come back.
I mean, you never know. Jason Witten retired for 1 year and he came back.
Well, it's because he sucked at broadcasting. That's why.
He always did the knife hands. You ever see that? He'd be like, bro, it's a fucking play action to the right side. He bootlegged around the corner and he threw it over the top. Touchdown.
Dude, you know what he was? He's like, he probably seen Tony Romo doing so good. And he's like, dude, I want to fucking do that. And then he did it and they're like, dude, you're not as good as Tony Romo.
Dude, Tony Romo is the messiah, though, dude. He'll literally, they'll line up on the line of scrimmage, and he fucking calls the play. He'll be like, oh, the triple side right here. He's probably going to run a post corner right here.
And then that's exactly what happens.
That's exactly what happens. You're just like, dude.
And then he'll break down, what the quarterback's he's reading the play. He's like, he really reads to the left. He tends to replace to the left first, and then he ends up throwing on the right. It's not like, dude, he'll know exactly.
That guy should be like a defensive coordinator or something.
Well, but I've heard people say anybody could really do that what Tony Romo does, but they just they're saying he's kind of like a hack. What's it called? Like an announcer, because they're saying. But I'm like, well, if you can do it, then just why don't you do it? You don't think fans want to hear the inside that crazy shit?
They can't do it.
It's because I think they're full of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could see him coming back though. That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah. All right, so. Just go down, like I said, there's kind of some good news going on. So you still got the Zeke Gordon holdout going on. This is obviously one of the biggest weeks for drafting. So, I mean, like I said, some people have been hitting me up, hey, how do you feel about Melvin Gordon? Would you draft him? Blah, blah, blah. Whole Zeke situation. One thing I can say about Zeke is I was just kind of on one of the mobile sports betting apps on my phone, and I was just curious to look at who's the MVP, who's the win Super Bowl, and they had a category for who will lead the league in rushing yards. And Zeke was the number one pick. He was 3-1. It was him and Saquon were 3-1. So they were the lowest odds or the favorites, I guess you would say, to win it. So it just makes me think that I feel like normally when Vegas knows things, kind of just an example off the top of my head is when they felt like Kawhi was going to go to the Clippers or, AD was going to go to the Lakers and get traded, the Lakers odds to win the championship shot up because they were like, oh, Vegas knew he's probably going to go to the Lakers. Right. So we're not going to give you shitty odds. We're going to make the odds 3-1.
Like you're saying that, the Vegas knows.
They know. So he's the favorite to lead the league in rushing. So I think the deal gets done with him. I mean, they offered him, contract to be the second highest paid running back. But like then I think you were the one who told me about it, how he was like, like usually when you're the best player at your position,
you're
the next man up, you get paid better than the last guy.
It's 15% more. Yeah, he said he tweeted that. He retweeted somebody. Somebody said something. If you're the best at your trade or your position, you should be, and you're signing a contract, you should get paid 15% more than the next best person.
Yeah. So
he retweeted that. So when they offered him that, and I seen that he retweeted that, it was pretty confident he wasn't going to take that.
Yeah. I mean, I still think a deal gets done. I mean, what do you feel about it?
I think so too. I think the Cowboys are just they overpaid Romo back in the day. I think that they don't want to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like quarterbacks is different, but I think they just don't want to fuck up and be in a situation that like the Rams are in. They pay highest paid running back, and the dude has fucking arthritis in his knees.
Yeah.
So like I think they're just kind of scared that's gonna happen. But I think I don't think Zeke really hasn't been injured. He's had like suspensions, and I think that's their biggest thing too. Is like he kind of like, how do you get into a fight at EDC?
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? EDC, like if people don't know, it's Electric Daisy Carnival. It's literally all ravers, and everybody's like high and Molly. You're like literally the nice. Everybody's so nice.
So it's like love and
peace.
peace.
That's like the motto of this place, and like he gets in a fight there. So the fact to me, I think that is probably playing a factor too. He's kind of like a troublemaker a little bit, and so they're just kind of afraid they're gonna pay him all this money and they get fucking suspended for like or be a Josh Gordon type of situation.
Yeah.
So. But I do think he'll get paid. He did say on Twitter he wants to be a Cowboy for life. I think me and you talked about it. That's kind of a lot of people say that though.
Yeah.
So I mean, I still do think a deal gets done. Just the way I think the difference. There's a big difference between him and like Melvin Gordon, or the way even how Le'Veon Bell sat out last year. It's a lot different.
Yeah, for sure.
Contract wise.
Yeah, because if he sits out, nothing happens. His contract literally just rolls over and he's got 2 years left. So it's not like he can sit out the whole year and then become a free agent. Like, no, if he sits out, he's literally just missing out on money. He's getting fined, and then he still has 2 years left after everything. So I think it gets done. I was telling you today too, I got a draft actually later today. I got the 6th pick, and if he falls to me at 6, I'm just pulling the trigger.
No. I mean, I want to take him. I'll still take him first overall.
Yeah, the only thing I can say is that I'm going to have to reach for Tony Pollard just to cover my ass, like hedge my bet. But, I mean, I'll just know, like, hey, maybe like in the 7th, 8th round, like I might have just say, fuck it. Like, I have to protect my investment.
Right.
Let me waste the 7th, 8th round pick. Let me just get this guy.
Yeah.
So I cover my ass.
Yeah.
If he does miss a couple games, okay. But, like, when he comes back, at least I know I got Zeke for the tail end of the season.
So that's good to tell. So if you have Zeke right now, please go. And Tony Pollard's still out there, go pick him up. You need to. It's just like you said, hedging your bet. You have to. If you don't, you're just kind of fucking yourself.
Yeah.
You don't want to go in that week one if he doesn't play and then not have that guy and somebody else picks him up off waiver.
For sure. I mean, as far as the whole Melvin Gordon situation, it seems like they're still pretty far away on what needs to get done. I think, like I said, one thing with him is he can become a free agent after this year, but he has to play X amount of games. And I think he can sit out until, I want to say it's week 10 or 11.
Yeah, I think he texted us saying it was week 11.
Yeah, so he can sit out all the way and miss like 10, 11 games and then come back and finish like the last 5, 6 games. And then technically he would become a free agent after that. So that is a possibility. You never know. But he won't sit out the whole season.
Right.
There's been some trade rumors, that maybe he gets traded. I mean, the only thing I say is like he's definitely falling in a lot of drafts. I think he's going in like the 4th round in like 12-team.
Which is crazy.
leagues.
It's so hard to like. I got Melvin Gordon last year in the middle of the 2nd round, and that was like a crazy steal.
Yeah, for sure.
So just it's hard to see that name in the 4th and 5th round and not want to grab him. But I think if you do grab him, what do you say, Austin Eckler or Justin Jackson?
One of the guys. You just got to make sure you get one of those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're paying a little bit more for Eckler. I think he's going in like the 6th round, Eckler, and then Justin Jackson's going in the later rounds, like round 9, round 10. I mean, I would just say you got to grab one of those guys because the games he does miss, I think it'll be a committee between the two, like a 50-50 split. Eckler, obviously, if you're in like in a PPR league, he's probably got more value because he's the pass catcher out of the two. But then if you're in a standard, I would say probably lean more Justin Jackson because he's probably going to see more of the goal line carries. But yeah, just if you do take a shot on him, you're obviously going to have to hold him for the amount of games that he sits out. So just like I said, you got to hedge your bet. You got to grab one of these guys at some point, even if you have to reach, maybe the rankings are, this guy's 20 rankings down, but like, sometimes you got to like, I think that's one thing I've really noticed in the last couple of years, like of like doing this and whatnot, is like the rankings are one thing, but I mean, sometimes you really just got to reach for that guy, because even though he might be like, your ranking might be like, oh, he's going in the 10th round, but it's like, okay, who in the 10th round is really good, compared to the 8th rounds? Like if I have to reach for him in the 8th round, like I'm just going to do it because I want to make sure I get him,
right?
Because these next 20 players, he's the one I think is the best out of the 20 players, even though maybe he's ranked at the bottom. Like you just have to reach for your guy.
Yeah, because you just never know what's gonna go. Like, cause I've done that before where I'm like, oh no, I can wait the next round and get him. But if there's no one really in that round besides that person that I like, I've learned to just go for it, grab him.
Yeah,
I definitely think you should draft for value, but I do think there's a lot you can learn a lot from doing like what you just said.
Yeah. I mean, just think like, okay, like if you don't get him and someone takes him before it comes back to you, like how pissed are you going to be? And if you're going to be pretty fucking pissed, like then you should probably just take him because it's worth it to reach maybe a round, ahead and grab that player.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So, speaking of Melvin Gordon and possibly being traded, I was reading today, I'm just, some of the news, but one of the places they're saying he could get traded to is the Texans because Lamar Miller tore his ACL.
Jesus, I don't even know if I like Melvin Gordon there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brutal. I mean, it'd be a good offense. I mean, the line's not good, but I mean, just to be a part of that Deshaun Watson,
right?
You got weapons, Kiki Cutie, Fuller. That would actually it'd be pretty good if they were to do it. But they'd probably have to spend some type of draft capital to get him, and then obviously offer him the contract extension
that he wants
as well. So, but Lamar Miller tore his ACL. He's out for the year. I mean, I know Lamar Miller's not a sexy name, but I mean, he's finished as a top 20, top 24 running back like 4 or 5 years in a row. So he's not like a stud running back, but he's like a RB2 flex running back for you. So that position in the Texans offense obviously offers some type of value. So now on the depth chart, all they have is Duke Johnson. They traded for him from the Browns. And then after that, it's a bunch of lists of nobodies. They literally have nobody. So, with that being said, Duke Johnson could be a guy that you want to target in your drafts. I mean, honestly, personally, I'm probably going to target him in some of my drafts just to have him. But it'd be interesting to see if they go out and sign a player, or maybe, one of these players get cut. I've heard some things like the Redskins might cut AP. I've heard like the Bills might try to get rid of LaShawn McCoy, so maybe they trade him to the Texans too, or they cut him, so maybe that's a guy the Texans could bring in. So just keep an eye on it. I mean, even a name like the Jay Ajayi, just off the top of my head,
right?
Just a kind of like a bruiser back to get in there, because I do like Duke Johnson, but I'm not sure if he can handle a full workload.
Right. Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think that the Texans they're gonna make some type of move before the season starts.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not like crazy high on drafting Duke Johnson. That and just because the O-line there.
Yeah, not one of the better O-lines. It's just funny. One of my boys, he sent me a draft where someone drafted Duke Johnson in the 4th round. Like they drafted Duke Johnson before Lamar Miller. This is before the injury. And I was like, Duke Johnson in the 4th round. Like, what the fuck are you like? What are you thinking?
He's from the future.
Yeah, he's from the. I was like, dude, he must have known. That's fucking wild. But
that's pretty funny.
We'll see. I think Duke Johnson will still have some kind of value too, especially because Will Fuller can't seem to stay healthy, and then Kiki Cutie is a good player. But if Kiki Cutie was to get hurt, I think Duke Johnson's value would shoot up even more, because Duke Johnson's a guy you can line up in the slot and take over that Kiki Cutie role in a sense. So I think there's some good value for him. Duke Johnson's going in the 7th round right now. If he falls to me like in those later rounds, I think I'm for sure just going to take a chance on him. The upside of, especially in a PPR league, is actually pretty decent. So I guess just got to stay tuned on that.
Yeah, pay attention.
Yeah.
Focus.
So some other news, a couple more injuries in preseason. You got Jordan Reed. He got another concussion.
Dude,
I think he's.
Can he that is talking about Andrew Luck being banged up. Jordan Reed needs to just fucking retire, dude.
Yeah,
that guy is every game he's in, he hurts himself somehow.
Yeah, I think he's gonna turn into Simple Jack
dude.
If he gets another concussion.
It's like Not Another Teen Movie. You ever seen that when the guy has like so many concussions?
Oh yeah,
and he's like concussions left. It was on the scoreboard.
Oh yeah,
it goes to 0.
Yeah,
he died.
The big fat lineman.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it's really like, I mean, Jordan, like, fuck, dude. I know we're kind of laughing about it, but Jesus, dude.
I just know because I know some people are like been drafting him in like the later rounds, and I mean, he's just one hit away from getting another concussion. I mean, I think he's got like 5 or 6. They said.
Yeah, that's crazy, and that's just like recorded in the NFL. Yeah. Think about like college or maybe even like high school and
shit where they weren't really paying attention.
Yeah,
he's just a guy I probably wouldn't even be. The risk reward is just not there.
Yeah, I'm staying away. The only thing in Redskins I like a little bit is super late round is Trey Quinn.
Yeah,
just because remember we were talking about how last year Case Keenum targeting slot receivers.
Yeah, for sure.
So he got that role, and Trey Quinn's been lining up in the slot, and I think Trey Quinn's going in like the fucking 13th round or some shit.
Probably way back there.
He's way back there, and I think I don't think obviously he's not going to finish like top 10 wide receivers or something. But I think in a PPR format, he has some value.
No,
but with Jordan Reed, like you said, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I think they did announce Keenum's the quarterback.
Yeah, they did this past they announced he's going to be the starter over Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, and that's smart. I think they should let Haskins just like the Mahomes approach, like let him sit out 1 year, just learn.
I mean, look at Aaron. Aaron Rodgers did that with fucking Brett Favre.
Yeah. I mean, just sit out a year. You really learn how to become a professional, and you really can understand the game of, how to play. And plus, you throw a rookie in there, and I feel like sometimes they struggle. It could stunt their confidence, and they might never rebound from it.
For sure.
So, but yeah, no, I like that. Trey Quinn, it's a good one right there. Late round sleeper.
Yeah, late round.
For sure. He's going to be a guy who probably doesn't get drafted, but a lot of people are going to be picking him up or even like streaming him throughout the year.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Super random.
Yeah. So another injury, we got Cam Newton, foot sprain. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think it's anything serious from what I've heard. I think they just took him out as a precautionary.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you just got to keep an eye on it because you never know. I mean, if that is the case, I think Anthony touched on it. When his shoulder was hurt, he would do a lot of those dump offs to McCaffrey, and McCaffrey's, shot up, even better than he already was. So if Cam can't really run, if he has to be like limited to like a pocket passer, this could be the same scenario with McCaffrey again, where he's getting those quick little short dump offs because Cam can't, beat Cam Newton and scramble. I mean, you're not really a big Cam Newton guy, huh?
No, not really. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, no.
See, I'm big on Killer Cam. He's one of my favorite players too, and plus he offers the rushing upside.
He's fun to watch. He's like entertaining for sure.
Yeah.
I think he does give you rushing upside a little bit. You know what? I think it's one of those stuff. I think I drafted him like the year after he had his MVP year. And I think I drafted him way too early. Yeah. And then I think that year he didn't do that good either.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think maybe that's why I have that, which is you shouldn't do, but I think I still have that in the back of my head, like Cam Newton bad.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean? So
he's dead to you.
Yeah, he's hashtag dead to me, dude. So
I mean, he's going in the 8th round right now. I mean, I'm a big Cam guy, and I was doing some mocks, and I would take him like in that 8th, 9th round. I don't know if I'm going to be taking him now just because the injury risk of it. I mean, especially there's a lot of good quarterbacks. I mean, I feel like, we were just talking to someone today. They called us and they asked us, like, hey, we need to try to draft a quarterback. And he was named off some quarterbacks. We're talking about, like, you still got Big Ben in the later rounds, Jameis Winston.
Big Ben just is always
Cousins,
forever in, like, he'll still be there in, like, the 10th round.
They have weapons. Yeah, you lose AB, but, James Conner can catch the ball. The other running back, Jalen Samuels, can catch the ball. Juju on the outside is, he's a fucking stud. And then, you got Moncrief and, James Washington who can, who are good. And then even the Vance Dance in the middle of the field tight end position.
I like Vance.
He's still got a ton of weapons to throw the ball to.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. After watching the highlights from this last preseason game, I think James Washington might be coming back up, dude.
Sneaky good.
Yeah, I don't know. Just because he's been playing more. With like the ones and stuff.
Yeah.
That was kind of like my main argument about having Moncrief. earlier. So I mean, I still don't know. We'll see. I think this last game we'll know for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. He had a touchdown. I think it was like a 30-yard touchdown or something like that. Him and Juju did. It's pretty good though. Looks good. Just off like a post route or something.
I mean, I saw something they were saying like he's been balling out in preseason, but most of the snaps have been with Mason Rudolph, the backup quarterback.
Right.
And obviously they're college teammates. So like they're obviously on the same page, like of how to play. They have the rapport and the chemistry already. But I mean, even then, if Moncrief's out there, I mean, how many times, you know this more than me, obviously, how many times did they run like a 3 wide receiver set? And I feel like nowadays more in the NFL, you're seeing more of these like 3 wide receiver sets.
because it's just becoming more of a passing league for sure. Yeah.
So I mean, even if Moncrief's out there, why can't it be Juju, Moncrief, and James Washington?
Right.
And obviously, if
I just think whoever's on the outside will end up with more. It seems. I mean, like I said I think I've said this before. Is the stat is a little bit skewed because AB was there and he ran outside all the time. But there's been other outside wide receivers that are really good. But the stat is like Big Ben's passing. He throws like 46% to the outside receiver, which is like that's a lot.
Yeah.
So I just think whoever's on the outside will end up being more fantasy relevant, especially in like a standard league if you're with like more touchdown upside.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I say with Big Ben is I feel like I was looking at a stat the other day and talking about his like deep ball percentage because it was like an AB thing. They're saying Big Ben's deep throwing percentage was like way better than Derek Carr's, so like they were kind of low on AB. But I mean, when you do think of Big Ben, he does have a pretty good deep ball.
Yeah.
I mean, Juju, AB back in the day, Mike Wallace. I mean, and if one of those guys is going to be a deep threat out of James Washington and Moncrief, it's James Washington. He's the field stretcher. I think Moncrief's more of like the possession, move the chains kind of guy, maybe in the red zone. But James Washington's not going to catch like a lot of short touchdown passes. They'll be like, if you're in a best ball league, where James Washington's a guy like.
Right.
He's definitely a guy I'm taking in. I think he's going like the 10th round. So they're both going in the 10th round.
Yeah,
James
that's
Washington
the thing
Moncrief.
is they're right next to each other in a lot of rankings.
Yeah.
So that's my problem with it is it's hard to know what's going to happen. I mean, if maybe just avoid it.
I mean, this is the fantasy football calculator, and I feel like most people who do this are like kind of know what they're doing. So that, James Washington could probably fall into like the 13th, 14th round. He could be like your last pick in some leagues, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's a guy I think I'd be taking a chance on and just kind of seeing how the offense really plays out for the first couple weeks. And I mean, I'd rather have that guy, spend one of my last couple picks on a guy like that. And then, instead of like, he goes out and he blows up for a monster game and now he's the number 1 waiver wire pickup the next week.
Right.
At least now I got him before,
Yeah, you have that trade bait a little bit.
Yeah.
Those are the best, those week ones when you have like a guy who blows. Like I had Calvin Ridley last year and he did really good. I remember it was like week 2 or 3 and everybody went to go to the waiver wire and I was like, no, dude, I drafted him. Like, you drafted Calvin Ridley? It's like, yeah, dude, it was like my last pick. It is nice to have that advantage. I think I ended up trading him. It was nice.
Yeah, because you're fucking wicked small, bro.
Dude, honestly, bro, I got all the fucking neutrons, protons that I'm moving around, bro.
Dude, you were like last pick. I don't know who should I take, another Steelers player, and then you were just like brain blast. Oh no,
Calvin Ridley. Oh, I'm in.
He revived.
For audio listeners, my fucking gaming headphones, the headset, the mic fell down.
I mean, fantasy football is a game, dog. So you got to put the game in.
Dude, this isn't a game.
This is life.
By the way, I told my girlfriend today that I'm in 6 leagues, and she was like, "What? Do you think you know these players or something?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude. They fucking hit me up all the time."
He knows his stuff, dude. The guy knows his stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking funny.
I like to think we know our stuff.
Me too, but then we probably don't. So hello.
I don't know.
I know. I think we do.
But do we?
Do we? But so. Do we?
Hey, I'll beer bet you that we know our stuff.
Yeah, how the fuck are we gonna?
I don't know. Anyway, you want anything else you want to touch on or what?
Nothing. This is just a quick little mini episode. Maybe I'll start labeling these as mini episodes.
Mini.
Because these little 30 minutes.
Fun size episodes.
Yeah, fun size. Dude, fun. Who really likes the fun size cookies and Twix and all that?
Dude, the fun size Snickers? Dude, I'll fucking run through the whole bag.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
Oh,
a whole bag of fun-sized Snickers is like
dude, you won't.
2 Snickers.
Dude, I'm gonna get you on the next podcast, and you have to eat the whole bag of.
Bro, you ever have
Snickers.
this? You ever have the Snickers ice cream bar?
No.
No,
I'm not big on ice cream.
Dude, oh fuck! It's like a Snickers. It's like a Snickers, but instead of like the chocolate part, it's just it's chocolate on the outside, like chocolate shell, and then it's ice cream
with
in
the caramel
inside. Yeah, and the caramel, and it has like the nuts and stuff on it.
Dude, I'm about to go get one right now.
It's pretty fucking good. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm about to Postmates a box.
Dude, they have them on because when I do runs at work, like they have the little market where you scan it and like pay for with your card. I every day, dude. I get one of those Snickers bars and eat one. It's like $2 a day. It's like $10 a week. It's like $40 a month. That's like, what's 4 times 12?
480.
408, dude. That's $480
on Snickers
a year.
Oh, bro, but you got to take in the factor that you only work at the pool X amount of months. So now you got to subtract. It's really not that bad.
No, 4 times a week.
Yeah, but you're not working at the pool every week.
But I do work like 4 times a week.
But not in the wintertime.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Hey, bro.
And see, dude, we keep it smart here.
Dude, yeah.
Get yourself a Snickers ice cream bar. I feel like
this episode was sponsored by Snickers ice cream bars.
I feel like one person's gonna listen to this and be like, "Dude, I fucking want a Snickers bar."
Dude, for sure, someone's gonna go get it.
Or someone's listening to it in their headphones at 7-Eleven. They're like, "Oh fuck!" They turn back around, get out of line.
Yep.
Then they're late to work because they lost their place in line.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry guys, we
for
made you late.
But I like busiest weekend drafts. Hit me up. I've already, I've had some people hit me and Anthony up. Just advice. Help them out. So,
is there anything people ask you? You gave some good advice or what?
I mean, all my advice is good.
Well, yeah. But anything you can think of, we can share.
I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything. I just, you know what? And like I said, we don't want to be like those experts who are like, oh, you have to draft this guy or do this. Usually when people ask me, like, how do you feel on this player? I'll just kind of give them my perspective on it, and
I keep getting a call from Poland. Should I answer it?
Yeah, bro. Maybe
live on the podcast. Bro. Maybe it's advice.
Dude, Poland needs our help.
Hello? Is this Poland? Is this the entire country of Poland?
Da.
Das ist Poland. Dude, that was so anticlimactic.
All right. Thanks for listening.
This has been the Average Bros Fantasy Football Podcast, brought to you by Snickers Ice Cream Bar. Go get one. If you listen to this whole episode, please go write us a review on Apple Podcasts app. It really helps us out. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Go check us out on Instagram. Give us a follow. It's Average Bros _fantasy football on Instagram. Check us out on Twitter at Average Bros FFP. All these links are down below. So go ahead and look in the description. It's down below. Yeah. So that's all I got from you. For you.
Thanks.
And that's all I got from you too, you fucking idiot. See ya.